The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Kagos Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guests, and participants. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and/or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LGA Broadcasting.
I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms and laugh.
Are you ready? What you are about to experience is real. Right along with us. From deep in the desert of Nevada, The Glenn Lary Show.
I do bid you all welcome. Oh, what a show we're going to have tonight, I'll tell you for sure. I have Heidi will be on the line pretty soon. We want to welcome everybody out there from wherever you're from, town, city, zone. I don't know what time it is over in Europe, but if you're listening, we do love you. 2K6RCL in Goleta, my ham operators out there, and Worldwide Radio Club out there. We say hello to you, and all my affiliates out there. The AM/FM stations, the low power station, the Part 15 stations, all your little neighborhood hobby stations. Thank you for carrying the broadcast and the podcasters out there. Listen to us from Facebook to YouTube. We want to thank you also. I'll just tell you, I have had quite a couple of months going on. We were on a couple of weeks ago. We are lining up bunches of people that want to get on now all of a sudden. It's like the faucet opened, which is good, as long as that keeps flowing. And talk about faucets, I'll talk about water. I didn't have water for almost 2 months. My water tank went out on me, galvanized tank, it's 120-something gallons. The tank was about $1,300. Yeah, imagine that. And then the labor, another $7. These are old systems up here, folks. And if you know, in the rural farm areas and stuff, they have old wells and old systems, not the new stuff. So I stuck with the same system that I have to replace it. And that was the right thing to do. It's air over water, you know. So those folks that know a little more about that out there and have to deal with that, as always when you haven't got the money. You know what I'm saying? Want to say hello to the Pioneer Saloon out there. I was over there the other day seeing all the spirits. Ooh, I'm telling you, it's not only the spirits in the drinks, but there's spirits in the building. I know for sure, yeah. Old Man Liver, good friend of mine. Want to say hello to him. You get a chance, stop on by and say hello to all the folks down there. It's so cool. I mean, the history's unbelievable. You walk back there in that back room, you see a lot to see. So it's on your map to take the tour of Good Springs, Nevada, our little community up here, our little village, as I call it. If you look at around the mountains, it looks like the Alps, especially when it starts to snow. That's so beautiful, looking out this radio station window. And I'm telling you, it's like you're somewhere else. And when it's cold out, I'm doing a late night show. Is that so cool to watch and look out? Well, tonight's show, we have Heidi, which will be on the line soon. And I'm telling you, this lady, I've had her on a couple years ago. And she is just a delight to have on. And you'll hear her voice, and you'll say to yourself, wow. And the things she has to say, and I know she reads people too. She has so much talent in the paranormal, the psychic world, and but I'm going to let her tell you about a little about her background before we get started with these stories and what's going on. Heidi, are you on the line?
I am on the line.
Good.
Good evening.
That's fantastic, and welcome to Kagos Radio. UFO Talk Radio, Midnight Talk Radio, all
Thank
that.
you. Thank you kindly.
And Heidi, um, you have a shop in Texas. Would you tell us where you're from and where your shop is at? And let's get into
Sure.
you.
Sure. I'm in Kerrville, Texas. Some of you might recognize the name Kerrville in the hill country with all the weather we've been having lately. I have a little store called Zen and Alchemy, and just sort of an interesting, we've got about 30 dealers, and we have anything from geodes, crystals, clothing, all kinds of fun, wonderful vintage things, and great people that we work with.
Well, with the customers that come in there too, in this little town, how big is the town? Would you say it is?
Oh, gosh, I can't even remember. I think it's around 20K.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure
Good.
someone will
Good.
be able to tell me otherwise.
Right, and you got a lot of foot traffic and all that.
We have a lot of people from the hill country coming in, so yes.
And what is your website that we can go to?
www.zenandalchemy.com.
Okay. And you'll have a catalog on there also, and it explains about your shop. And now you.
Yeah, it tells a little bit about us. It's in the middle of a little overhaul. We have a new business partner who's taking care of that, and probably within about a month, we will see an absolutely new website that'll describe it in greater detail.
Oh, wow.
But you can get a good idea right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about. I understand you have seminars there also.
I have what? I'm sorry.
Seminars in.
We do. We have a little classroom downstairs, and we have people that come in and give classes, and we have meditation nights and such.
Well, what is your expertise in all this?
Well, I've been a massage therapist for years, but I consider myself an energy healer. I've been doing past lives and have remembered past lives of my own since I was about 18 or 19. And somewhere between 20 and 30, I realized that I was able to also read others. It just became a very natural thing. And so I give readings, and I get to do that as often as I like. It's actually a lot of fun, but it's also educational for the individuals that are sitting for a reading.
Are you still with me? Yeah.
Yes, I'm still with you.
I think the ghosts are here. I think they've arrived.
Uh-oh.
With your readings, on all those readings, what happens when you have your readings? Are they all after life after death, or past lives, or what's it all about? I mean, is it the people walking? They want to be healed right away? Are they looking for past lives, or what are they looking for?
And most people are just looking for a past life. I run my readings two different ways, so they can choose. They can choose a life from Earth, or they can choose a life before Earth. And for those of you who believe in ETs and multidimensionals, many of us believe that we have lived in other places other than Earth, in physical lives and non-physical lives in other places. And so they'll usually give me a key about what they like. And really what I'm after are the lifetimes where they'll learn the most about what's going on in their own life and find a connection between them that might prove to be healing in some fashion.
Okay. So I've heard stories, unbelievable stories, about these kids that say they've lived before, and their name is Harold. And I was on a boat. I was a captain on this boat, and the kid's never been on a boat in his whole life, but he explained exactly everything. And they're coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy. These people are opening.
Isn't it amazing?
I can't. It's just wow. Is it because of the universe, or things are changing, or what could it be? Why are these stories becoming so familiar that it's like deja vu? You lived a past life, you were there, what have you. Why is this happening, Heidi? What do you?
Yeah, I think there's so many reasons. I do believe that there are great changes happening on the earth. I'm meeting more and more people are starting to wake up and realize that either they have had past lives or, so many other things that are happening to them. They may be having contact with otherworldly beings, positive usually, but, you've got to be careful. Um, but yeah, I think that that's a lot of it. I know in India that's been a traditional thing where children may have even been encouraged to remember, but this seems to be happening worldwide from what I
The Dalai
understand.
Lama, yeah, that was interesting. That whole Indian thing, India,
Yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah, and they're into UFOs big time. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Uh, so when you kind of talked about these beings, are we talking aliens? Are we talking what are they? I
I
mean,
think a lot of things. I'm sure you've heard it
elves?
all, but anything from uh, when I have made contact, usually they are either what I call otherworldly beings. They can be ETs, they can
Mm,
be multidimensional, they can be angelic. And anytime you're connecting with that, you just have to make sure that you're protecting yourself and asking for protection against anyone that would try to deceive you. But generally, that's what we get. Even in my readings, sometimes people who have passed over will come in and
mm.
try to make contact with their loved ones. So,
And when you do make contact with their loved ones, is it a full
mhm.
conversation? Are you the medium when this happens? Are they the medium when it
I,
happens? Are they asleep?
I I kind of joke that I'm a medium, kind of average, and I'll get symbols, and they may tell me a name, they may give me a sentence or two, something that will reflect a memory or something that the individual who's with me is receiving. I'm not a full-on medium. My gifts tend to flow more towards the past life arena. But I do, even when I'm just working on someone in an energy healing thing, people will just come in and I'm able to describe them. I may see them. I don't see them like a full body apparition usually. It's more that I'm seeing them like a flash of an image in my mind, almost like a photograph,
Hmm.
but more lifelike. So,
So you tell them what either their loved one looks like or the person they're talking to or trying to talk through, that you talk
yeah,
through, I guess. I mean, do you say, well, they have blonde hair and they're 5'11" and it's a
right.
female male and I mean,
May not get that exact, but yeah, sometimes I'll get a name like Maria or someone who has sort of the bubble haircut in a certain color or something like that. And that's usually what they'll show me. That's
hmm
kind of what they look like a little bit, and I'll be able to describe that and their personality a little bit.
is it
So
is it hard to do these readings over the phone, or do you like to do them one on one? Um, what's the best way
um,
to get a reading?
I don't mind either way. I love doing it in person. It's really wonderful to be able to connect with someone on a personal level. But also, I've done a Zoom reading or two, and I find that that's just as easy. Actually, I still get the information. There's still a connection with that individual, and lots can come through that way.
Huh,
So
interesting.
there's something about that connection.
Um, I've noticed that when I have experiences psychic wise, maybe I'm hearing people talk or seeing certain things. Um, that it doesn't last very long.
Right.
Why is that? Is it the energy? Is it the what vibration of energy? Is it my energy is off, or what would?
No, I think that when we come here to Earth, we're here to experience the Earth's vibration. Um, when we're going into a psychic experience, those are more. A friend of mine calls them extraordinary energies, and so we might move up into that frequency level for a while, and then we get back down to our normal waking consciousness. You know, even in the dream state, you'll have like alpha state, delta state, gamma, theta, beta, that kind of thing. And so you're just sort of dipping up into alpha and gamma and coming right back down. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. To my listening audience, I don't know if they're grasping all that, but it makes sense to me because
Okay.
I've dealt with it.
Okay.
But gosh,
I can explain what it feels like.
why don't
If that will help anybody.
do that, please?
So, an alpha state, when you're in a regular beta state, that's your regular, normal consciousness. When you're out driving your car or you're working on the computer, that's sort of your general beta state. When you're going up into alpha state, that's kind of like daydreaming, where you feel a little dreamy. It's definitely a little different than when you're working on your computer and having to go into that mental state. And then when you go a little farther out, it's almost like you're in a dream state. You're pulling in information that is going to be a little bit, the state is farther out than just a general sort of daydream state. But you can feel the differences. Any human being has that capacity to feel what a daydream feels like. And beyond. And that's when you start getting your best information, when you're getting into alpha and above. And those are normal states when you're literally falling into a dream state.
Is it hard to get into a dream state? Is it hard to find yourself there? You sit back and mentally, how long does it take you to get there? What, 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
No, it really depends. Some people do it very quickly, very easily. They just fall right into that. Other people may take a little training. Really, it's about practice for those who want to develop that. Meditation helps you get there much easier. And the more you do it, the more you practice, the faster it is you get into that.
Wow.
They have little machines out there where you can hold a little instrument, and as you are making yourself go from your regular natural waking state into an alpha state, and you can make it'll be hooked into a little train set, and you can make the train stop or start just by falling into an alpha state or coming back out of that. So it's a normal part of human consciousness.
But the person has to be open to what you're telling them, correct?
That's it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I can still get information even when they're skeptical, but that person has to be open in order to receive it.
Mm-hmm. What is the most? We're going to kind of move ahead here. What's the most interesting past life reading therapy, more or less, that you've had? There's got to be a few of them. Would you please tell us?
Oh, there's some that are really. I've had some that were very difficult, where people were in the Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that came through were hard for me to give to them because it was so just like war. It's hard, but some of the most wonderful ones. I had a lady that I was reading for years and years ago, and she was very distraught. She and her husband were having issues, and we got into a lifetime where she had been given a very specific necklace that had a cross with jewels, and it was sometime during the medieval times. And the chain, in particular, was very important in that life. And as we finished the reading, she was very quiet through most of it. And as I ended it, I said, that chain had been given to you as a gift of love in that lifetime. And even though you two are having problems now, that love remains on the other side. Your souls still love one another deeply. And she told me later that she had actually been given a chain that part of it was from some medieval time by him in this particular lifetime. And so that had gone from one lifetime to another, and that symbol remained of their love.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the next
So,
one? Give me another one. I've got to just.
well, let
It's.
me see. Do you want one from Earth, or would you like to get a little farther out there?
Let's
What
stay. Let's
What
stay
is our
on.
audience tonight?
Let's stay on Earth for just a tad more, and then we'll
We
go
can
out.
do that.
We'll go out
We
somewhere.
can do that. Okay. I had a lady that came in last year, actually, and she didn't tell me a thing about herself, and she was really just curious. So we went in, and she had two lifetimes that were one right after another, and one was a lifetime in France, and she had been a male actually in that lifetime, and he was a very slow individual intellectually. The purpose of that life was actually to give her a rest because she had been in lifetimes where she had to work very hard, and he was on a farm. So he was mentally sort of disabled, working on a farm, but he was very loved by his whole community. It was a very nice community in France. The next life after that was also on a farm in a region that was probably northeast of there. So unusually she came back in a similar type of lifetime, but she was again male, and she had to work very hard. But she had the love of three of her children, and they helped her throughout that lifetime. So at the end of the lifetime, and at the end of the reading, we were talking, and she at first she couldn't understand how it connected to her life in this life. But as we began to talk, she told me that she had been raised in a farm. She had three wonderful, wonderful children, and the relationships apparently had continued from one life to another, and lots of connections and kind of synchronicities there between lifetimes.
Wow. I started to show off with that story, but there was a German, a kid that said he was from Germany, and he didn't speak any German, but he could do it. He could speak German. I mean, he never had any German background. He's not even from Germany, and
Right.
he's speaking the language fluently.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's like these savants that play piano. They never played piano before, and they're just unbelievable.
Right.
It's a connection, isn't it? It's a it's a tie in with the other side.
It is.
I mean, you just don't
It
come
is.
out of the womb playing piano. You know what
No,
I'm
you
saying?
don't.
Or talking German.
Right.
and
Right.
the weird thing is that his family's not German. There's no German descent in his family. And
Oh, very interesting.
it's like, whoa. And I mean, there's like I said earlier, these things are popping up all over, and they're starting to be more uh, widely talked about and discovered than ever before. And like you said, this must because this awakening that we're going through. I heard it was coming. I heard of this. This awakening's coming. It's going to be a whole new, type of thing. And
Yeah.
well, we can sure see a lot of it now, can we not?
Isn't that amazing? Yes, I agree. Yes.
Uh,
I'm constantly seeing people walk in the store with new stories and new things happening to them. They are awakening,
um,
happening.
do you think with all this, let's go off the earth just a bit before I go to
Okay.
commercial. In fact, I'll have to. I won't be playing commercials on this side. We'll you'll hear music, folks, but I have to give my affiliates that time for that. But going off the planet. So if the ETs are talking to us telepathically or psychically, or we're open to it, and they're communicating with the spirits of us humans, and even the dead, going deep here, the ones are not leaving on the other side. It's coming together like one. And I want to know, with this, what I just told you, whereabouts do you think it's going to start from? we hit first to them, or they hit back to us, or I mean, are you following me here? What I'm trying to say. Is
So
it
when will the communication, or how will the communication
yes?
begin?
How will it be? Okay, I'm not alive. You're talking to me through a spirit box, and you're getting bits of things. Hello, goodbye. Yeah, hell, or yeah, I believe. Oh, Susan, Frank, you've heard the boxes. I'm going. Come on.
Yes,
You
I
know.
have.
Am I buying that? I don't know. I don't want because I know a couple of guys that use it and they're really serious about it. And I go, okay, I mean, I can take transistor radio and do things with it. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, now you've got these aliens that are telepathic, telling you things, and they appear at night, and then all right, and then you dream that that you were somewhere else and what have you. I want to know if it's tied in all together. Are they all separate?
Well, some of it is, I think.
Okay.
Some of what I've read suggests that there's maybe more connection between those things than we might have expected. Um, I certainly don't have all those answers, but for the individual that contact is being made, generally a positive group is not going to just bowl you over and suddenly appear in your room, because they understand that can damage a person's psyche. It creates a shock to the system. And so you're usually going to start getting dreams or intuitions of presences that are not necessarily ghosts. You might see a light in the sky. You might see an actual ship before they actually make physical contact. I think some of us get that, some of us don't. So, my opinion.
Okay. So if you have a dream and your grandmother says you're going to see a spaceman tomorrow night, I mean, I don't know how it works that way, but I mean, is that possible? You get that in a dream? I don't know. Are they prepping you for something?
Why not? Why not? Yeah,
I
they
don't
might be
know. Yeah.
coming to you as that grandmother. So,
There you go.
yeah,
That's the catcher right there, man. All right.
yeah, you have to be very careful. But,
Got to be careful. You're not my grandmother. You're an alien. Are you a demon? Are you a demon or an alien? I'm not trying to be tongue in cheek here, but I'll tell you, these are the questions I get asked from people. So I'm throwing it to you.
Sure.
I'm trying to read their notes here. I'm trying to make some sense out of their notes. I hope I'm unbelievable.
Right.
So the past lives, you can actually, do you think you can bring something back with you from a past life? I mean, of course, we've got memories, we got speech, we got, but like you say, the watch and certain items, can things just, after you have this afterlife, past life experience, I mean, you have an experience, but you've actually lived in this past life. You believe you are that person, or what have you. But can this just happen overnight? You go, hey, I was the captain on a boat, or captain on. I mean, and I got this locket. I don't know where it came from. I mean, do things like that happen?
I can't say they don't. This was sort of an unusual. I've never had anything come back to me like that. I think that the nature of her emotional state maybe necessitated getting something that was really strong like that. A sign, basically, from the other side that everything's going to be okay, that everything is love in the end. So I don't think most of us are going to get that. I think what we might get are senses, especially emotions about certain things. We might meet somebody that appears like we've known them for years, and yet we may have only just met them. And usually that's one of the signs that you might get, that you've known this person in a past life.
What about
we go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We oftentimes carry issues. Both some people call it karmic, some people just call it just emotional issues, where we may have had a difficult lifetime, and some of the issues are still following us through the lifetime we have now, and we have the ability to forgive and let go, even in this lifetime from another. So forgiveness and love are two of the best tools you have for getting over anything past life-wise.
What about a person that, that's passed on, and you see a person on the street is identical to that person, and even has a kind of bit of their personality? What's that all about?
Wow.
This has happened. And
Sure.
They say everybody has a double, I guess, but even to have the personality and the voice. We're going to be we're going to be with that note. We're going to be right back. We got to go into commercial break. Stand by. Don't leave us. Call your friends. Say hello to everybody out there, to my friends in Canada. They're listening to us. They're in Great Falls, Montana. Yes, Helena. Hello over there. Lary, Idaho, Reno. Looks like Memphis, Tennessee. Olympia, Washington, Tacoma. Oh, we got Elko. We have Joyce and Lacey. Also, we have Fairbanks, Alaska. And a big shout out to Chief Hall and the Avondale Fire Department, all the EMS over there. We do appreciate all the EMS out there. And our prayers go out to Texas. And to anybody that's going through the storm and hard times, we want to send our love to you. Good vibrations. To Barbara Neal in London, England, and Ken and Dee in Florida. Wow. We do thank you. We back. And we are back, everybody. Welcome to the Glenn Lary Show. And we have Heidi on the line. And we, again, want to thank her for being on the show tonight because, I know she's busy. She's got a schedule going on. And we're talking about past lives and all around that, the psychic world, everything. I'm just going all over the map. And I'm probably bothering you for that. I don't mean to mislead you for coming on the station. I know you know so much about this world that we're talking about. I love to hear you talk about it and tell the audience out there your thoughts and your experiences from a true professional, a true practitioner. But I was saying earlier that I know that there's persons that look like other people that we know they're gone, what have you. And they have that personality, they have that voice, and they said, you look familiar too. What's that all about? My gosh.
Interesting thought. They could be a part of the same soul family, and you're simply meant to meet them.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in I don't believe in coincidence that much. I think that something like that so strongly resembles somebody, you're meant to meet that individual.
What do you think about the coincidence people, where people say, I've met you before, I know who you are? I mean, if you see me on radio or TV, it's a different story, but I'm saying if you never met, you're in a strange town, all right? And, I know you from somewhere, and you've never met, but all of a sudden, you know someone somewhere that knows that someone. And now the circle's gotten even closer. It's a small world, How would I run into somebody, which it's happened to me, from Vegas and I'm in Wyoming somewhere, and they know I listen to the show, they know this bookstore I go to, and they order from that bookstore, or something weird like that. I mean, the circle. Well, for instance, I have a friend, a dear, dear friend, and his wife and his children, and his father-in-law. I was introduced, and I knew him when I was a kid in Olympia, Washington, and they lived in Alaska. And this complete circle of this family that I dearly love, it's unbelievable, and it's just how would I know the people he knew? And I described the people. You know, I used to serve him coffee and all this other stuff back in the day, and I was a kid. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is amazing. That's amazing, and that seems to be how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like people call them soul families, and these are people that you come back with over and over and over again, and you know them from the other side too. So before you were even born, you knew them.
So
And
explain that explain that, please. Okay.
okay.
What you just said. Before,
Well, if we were living past lives, we also have in between lives where we are on the other side, in the most positive place possible, and we know them in that between space. That's really who we are. When we're coming down into these lifetimes, we take on, new bodies. We take on new personalities. But the inner us, the essence of us is the same. And we generally will recognize those that we already know.
So we're already connected already at that
Many of us are, yeah.
beginning.
Absolutely. Yes. And the most deeply you're connected to people on this earth, the ones that you remember the most, the family, the dear friends, even acquaintances that made great impressions upon you. Usually they are within what you'll call a soul family. You're not really separate from anyone, but those are the ones that you know the most and are closest to.
They think you can't choose your family. You can't. I'm saying, wow, that's interesting.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, maybe you can. So it's weird. My whole station's going crazy here. Nuts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to believe that. I'm certainly open to other people's opinions, and that's great. That's just what I believe.
Right.
That you really do. You can choose your family, and you did. So.
Well, that's kind of a Scientology thing, is it not? That I've heard. I'm not sure of
They
this.
may ascribe to that too, but that's an old thing, long before Scientology, that people believed in that. So.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I hear.
Is there,
that's what I've read.
Is there anger on the other side?
I've heard different things. I have never met someone that is coming over from the other side that is angry. I've seen ghosts that were angry, but I've never met someone who came over to see their family and let them know that they were in the room with us when I was giving a reading. None of them are angry. They may feel regret, but they're always just full of love. It's
Interesting.
It's incredible. I wish that we could all experience that, because that's what I feel from these beings, these people that are coming over. It's just love. Pure love.
Pure love.
Yeah.
Boy, that's what we need in this world. I'm telling you, love. That would probably answer a lot of problems.
Yeah. I think so.
I tell you, I have a great Sunday little gospel show we have, and it's just interesting, and the messages, and we talked about it's about the love, the true love.
It is.
So
I believe that. Yeah.
So with those folks coming over, and we talked about this before, folks, and you've heard me talk about this, where this may not be your aunt or your grandmother. It may be another being, and that's kind of what kind of freaks me out a little bit. Where and how do you know that what it is? How would
I
you
don't
know?
know if you can. Yeah, one. Um, I always ask my clients to ask for protection from that which is Most High, the Most High God. Not getting into religion here, but that's what
No, that's fine. That's fine.
is going to protect you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Let's
And
start. Saint Michael will protect you, correct?
absolutely, yes, that as well. And in that, understand that there are beings that will try to deceive you. You just they can even pretend to be that family member, but generally, the more you do it, and the more you ask for protection and keep that around you, it's harder for them to get through. And they really don't want to play too much with people that are well protected because Archangel Michael is kind of scary to them, as is Most High God. So
saw the movie. You might be John Travolta as Michael. Yeah, it was
right,
pretty
maybe not
good.
that one. Right.
A lot of little truths in there, though. That was pretty interesting when I saw the movie. But a little Hollywood there, a lot of rounds.
Sure.
I don't think he was a smoker. But
No.
yeah. That's so fascinating. I'm going to open the lines, everybody. The phone number is 702-874-1114. That's 874-1114. 702-874-1114 if you want to ask Heidi anything. Are you up to doing a reading tonight? Is that possible? I don't know.
If someone's available, sure, and interested, happy to do it.
Yeah, I'd love to have you that happen, folks. Oh, did you hear that? Come on, finally. Yes, it got a little hot out here. My machine shut down, but it's fun to watch the ghosts play. Radio, you never know. Yeah, they're very good at it. They're very good at doing things when you're going to go to somewhere and do something. They can, yeah, they're pretty clever. But your readings. Now, with this reading, do you ask, when they ask for a reading, what are they asking for? I need a reading. What is it? The future? Is it I want to talk to grandma? Or is that my late son? Or what are you comfortable doing?
Well, in this case, probably something more past life related and how it relates to their present life to some degree.
Okay.
And usually we'll get a hit on that.
Okay. On a past life. Okay. 702-874-1113. You're on that now, but 14. Let's try 14. 702-874-1114. That's the number to call, everybody. So we got one line open. If you'd like to have a reading from Heidi, we'd love to have that happen. Oh, my goodness, I would. Let's see if I get this going, if this happens. Okay, let's see. Push a button.
Happy to do it.
Good.
And happy to talk about other things as well.
Well,
and I'm an experiencer.
When you say experiencer, what does all that mean?
People that have had contact with otherworldly beings, and not just ghost type, but potentially physical beings that are not human. Some call them aliens, ETs. There's a plethora of names. But I've seen lots of ships, had some missing time.
Wow.
Years ago. I haven't had that in a long time, but yeah. And we're seeing more and more ships in the sky, by the way. Those of you who are out there looking for them, you're probably seeing things.
Yes, yeah. I saw a cloud. I go, that's just a cloud. It looks like a UFO. I mean, I really doubt myself. But you know what? Things kind of cleared around that cloud, and it looked like there was something metallic up in that, as big as that cloud was.
Interesting.
And yeah, I go, well, maybe they're hiding, maybe they're camouflaging. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people are seeing ships. Now,
absolutely.
I think the audience knows the ship I saw was huge, 4 or 5 football fields or more that I could see in the sky up with the stars. They're like rocks. And all these beautiful stars are flashing. Beautiful, beautiful space. But all of a sudden, these stars are all traveling by themselves around the other
Right.
stars that were still. You know what I'm saying? I go,
Right.
there's something wrong with this picture. And so I went up and got somebody to look at what I was seeing. So I had a witness. Got to have a witness, you
Wow.
know. And that was back in the 90s that happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
late 80s, 90s. And but I've seen, shooting stars, but I've also seen in my driveway in a beautiful sunny night, not actually a summer night, sitting back, and all of a sudden I go, all right, show me something. Beautiful stars. I see those two bright planets, or whatever they are. Show me something. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, a bright light goes to one planet, boom, and back to the other, boom. I go, well,
Interesting.
what is that all about? They say if you talk to them, or you have a vibration, or you have your connection somehow, you know, they'll do it
Yeah.
for you. I
Yeah.
mean,
You
Steve,
ask them to power up, and they'll flash at you.
yes,
It's really, really interesting.
Stephen Greer does it all
Yeah.
the time. I'm gonna put this number out again and see if we can get this out here. Let's see here.
To talk with Glenn Lary, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
Yeah, boy. When my commercials went out on me, I go, well, guess we're doing commercials the old way. Just read them off the sheet. Boy, those are old radio days, I tell you. You know. But
Yeah.
yeah. So experiencer, that's what that is. So have you ever been taken?
Well, with missing time, I've had a few little marks on my body here and there. Especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
I had the old people talk about they'll wake up with their head on the wrong side of the bed, and their night clothes have been put on upside down. So that happened when I was in my 20s. I know I've seen some things in San Antonio when I was young, high schooler. I had some very vivid dreams that I found out later were pretty typical. Whitley Strieber talks about a dream that many people have had where they'll see thousands of UFO ships going overhead, and I had that particular dream.
Uh-huh.
So who knows what that's about, but
Right.
I've heard of others talking about that one. So I've seen a boomerang-shaped ship
Mm-hmm.
over Houston.
Okay. I saw one
And,
too. I saw one too. Unbelievable.
Really?
Yep.
Very interesting.
Out in the desert where I live, I see all sorts of stuff, and I'll go out and take some walks and away from the light and look around. I hate snakes, so I have to be very careful.
I bet
We're
you.
we're in the desert here, and that Mojave Green is a
no doubt.
bad one.
Well,
So I try to really watch what I got going on there. Let's give this call number out again.
To talk with Glenn Lary, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
So all you gotta do, folks, is pick that phone up and call. Yeah, this is such a good topic. A lot of questions can be asked, and I know Heidi will answer those questions for you, or at least tell you a little bit. So not only your experiencer, I hear things. Well, I've always heard things, but no, I mean, I hear things, and I can hear people talking, even when there's a fan running. I can actually hear people talking. And
voices and
yeah, and I say that's a psychic thing,
it is.
I've seen people walk right through my house.
Yeah.
They're not all there, but they're physically there where they looked right down and looked right at me and walked straight through.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little crazy.
I've only seen one full body like that, and then another one that was a half, just from his, chest up. That's all I saw. But yeah, that's very interesting.
And when I was about 21 years old, Louis J. Music and Keith Smith and a couple other people, some attorneys up in Washington State, Tacoma, Washington. He was a psychic, and Louis J. Music invited us to his beautiful home in Tacoma, and the experiences were unbelievable. They had a cabinet back in those days with cheesecloth in front of it, and the lights were very, very dim. So we could see if there's any movement in the in the room. About 7 of us or 8 of us, and we would play an old photograph, some music, and we'd actually pray, and then we'd sing and ask for these certain people to come through. And we met for, I mean, months and months, and all of a sudden things were happening. And when that certain person walked out of that cabinet, I'll tell you, I was a little freaked out. I mean, I didn't know how to take it. I mean, I just had to accept it, what I was seeing, because I was
Wow.
worked up to it. And all of our shoes were tied together, our shoelaces, and so they're doing little pranks too, you know. And actually, there was a ball that was in the middle of the circle, and it would go back and forth and just kind of kick around, not towards our feet, but just come around, you know. And so there was a lot of activity. And you don't hear about those anymore, or the trumpet, that the trumpet would float in the air. You don't hear
Right.
about that stuff. And this trumpet had this tape that was had light. We had to shine light on it so you kind of see where it was at, because it was pretty dark in that room. But yet we could see if anybody would got up or did anything. We knew it's the real deal back then. But they don't do the mediumship like they used to back in the day. Now it's all kind of
Right. Right.
electronic.
No, that's definitely old school.
Yeah,
How interesting and fun. Yeah.
but I've been around it all my life, and um, I'm a Christian man, and I believe, and but
Hmm.
it's a gift. I mean, it's a gift, and it talks about a lot of stuff like that in the Bible also. So
Yes, it does.
we're going to put that
Yes,
call out,
it does.
put that number out again.
To talk with
Okay.
Glenn Lary,
Talk to
deep
Heidi,
in the desert of Nevada.
and we're there.
Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
Yeah, what a guy, Ross. Man, he's a cool dude.
Uh-huh.
Did all the art balance stuff, for him back in the day on Coast to Coast, which I don't. I listen once in a while. Um, Not too fan of some of the folks there. I lost another guy up there, which is a cool dude, um,
Uh-huh.
Richard, and uh, these old radio folks, radio dogs, guys that were good at what they did. This man, I'm telling you, these guys were pro hosts back in the day. Man, that Art Bell really opened the doors for a lot of people, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
just loved Art. I got to meet him several times, and I'm a ham
Oh,
operator, so you know, it,
wonderful.
I,
Yeah.
I want to contact him, you know,
I bet you do.
and
Yeah.
I don't know if I told this story, but I went up with my friend Terry, which Terry is 80 years old. We went up to Prompt to his grave, and I was doing like just starting out my radio shows and stuff, and wanted to do some type of a show like his, and I could feel him. I actually felt that, hey, maybe this is what's going on. I'll tell you a little more. Let's take this call. Caller, you on the line? What's your name and where you're from?
Good evening, Glenn. This is Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. You're live on the air with Heidi.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Mr.
I
Thomas.
was curious, like we're in talking about the UFOs and past lives and all that. What about like Bigfoot? Have you ever had an experience with Bigfoot? Do you think they're connected with
Yeah, that's what I
extraterrestrials?
understand.
Or
Yeah, absolutely.
You have
May
had,
I?
wow, you've had experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'll explain it, and you can make your own mind up. A friend and I used to go back in the 90s and early 2000s into a state park, Ratcliffe State Park here in Texas, and which is a part of a national forest, David Crockett National Forest. And we would go camp, and we called it ET hunting, and we would just go out and watch the stars and see if we could see anything go over and try and call them in and all the fun things that Greer was doing at the time. And so we went to sleep, and I had a big 10-man tent basically, and there are two women, and she's got a cot and I've got a cot, and we were awakened at 2 or 3 in the morning by these huge, loud whoops. And I'm gonna kind of quietly tell you what it sounded like. It was like, ooh, ooh.
Yep,
But
that's
it was
them.
extremely loud, and there were 3 or 4 of them all around our campground. And so at that time, I really wasn't into Bigfoot. I didn't know what it was, and we were trying to figure it out.
Right.
Anything from whooping cranes to howler monkeys, and neither one of them were in that area,
Yeah.
which is kind of East Texas. And but yes, we did experience that, and it took us until about 2 years ago to realize that that was probably Bigfoot, and more than one.
I keep losing you, Heidi. You need to talk right to your phone. I guess you move around. It's getting a little choppy. I apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, no, I apologize too. Is that better?
A lot better. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we did hear the whooping, and we didn't find out until about 2 years ago what we think it is now. Was that we had 3 or 4 Bigfoot around us that night.
Wow. Did you get any messages from Bigfoot? Do you feel any? Not only you were scared, of course. I would have been scared too. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was funny. We didn't know what it was, so we weren't that scared. We just thought it was some.
Well, that's what there was. That was Bigfoot.
Animal.
That was Bigfoot. I've had things thrown into a campsite, rocks and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we had a log thrown in one time. Pacific Northwest, Capitol Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to go up there all the time with my buddies.
Awesome. Cool. There's a place called Board Camp in Crystal Mine in Arkansas that we've been in, and we've had some much smaller Bigfoot experiences there, and they're good people, and they know what they've got. But we literally had one pass by, and you could tell it was the musky smell pass by as we were going down a road. As we were walking.
Yeah, it smells like damp dog hair, and smells worse than that, like something died, and it gets very putrid. It's terrible. And then you'll go to the area where you can't smell anything. It's just where they've been, where they've passed by you or whatever. There's a guy out there they call Snake. Apparently, he's shot one. A Bigfoot. This has kind of been on the news lately, but we'll see how much truth is in that one.
Right.
We'll
see.
Gosh, I mean, if you got one, you got one, but they're not telling people to go out and hunt them. I guess it's illegal to do that up there in Oregon.
I hope so.
Texas.
I really wouldn't want to see them killed either.
No. Yeah, I believe if they may, well, a lot of times you shoot at them, they disappear anyway. I don't know. That's what they say. When a UFO shows up, there's a Bigfoot that shows up right behind it, more or less.
That's what I'm hearing too. Isn't that interesting?
But now, if he shot one, or one just actually died, I guess the story goes one had died, and they found it or something. I don't know if it's a youngin' or I don't know, but or fighting. It was a male fighting with a female. Who I don't know. He has a storyline about it. I'll have to read up more on it. But it was in passing. I've had a couple of people email me about it. So we'll do another Bigfoot and get some sound effects and a bunch of other stuff. I got a couple of people know. Now I know that you had a little bit of experience. That's interesting. Mr. Thomas, are you still with us?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. I'm just curious, when you saw the 3 or 4 Bigfoot, did you have any other experience? Like, did they approach your camp or?
Well, we didn't see them. We just heard them. But we didn't know what it was at the time. It was probably late 90s, probably.
Okay.
Recent?
Maybe as late as 2000, but we didn't actually see any. We just heard very loud whooping sounds.
That's what it sounds like. Will Heidi?
Did you feel anything like psychically from them, or?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
At the time, no. The ones in Board Camp, I was more aware of, and we did kind of get. Had a couple of friends that were also very sensitive. And we did, it was more of a presence, but it was sort of an elusive presence. They really weren't interested in too much communication.
No, they're quite, they stay in the background, but boy, you get them on camera, he's peeking at you. Gotcha. Yeah, they like to hide behind trees and stuff. Yeah, I've seen it. You've all seen that, of course, I'm sure. But Gosh, Heidi, can I have you back on again? Is that okay?
I would love to.
God, I
certainly.
love you. I
would
get
love
such
to.
a thrill talking to you, and you have such a great spirit. And
Thank you.
my
Oh,
gosh,
geez.
um, this is I got messages here. Well, that's pretty crazy. But it's now top of the hour, a little over. And Mr. Thomas, I want to thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you, and
Yeah,
thank you, Heidi. It was a very interesting show tonight.
we'll do
Glenn,
more.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
We're gonna
Thank you
we're
very
gonna do
much.
some more. And folks, stay tuned because I know that Heidi has a lot more to talk about. She's done so much, and some other interesting stories I've heard. We're going to get those out too. So we will have you on again. And one
Thank
more
you.
time, tell them your website, please. Please do that. Go ahead, Heidi.
Sure. www.zenandalchemy.com.
So one more time.
www.zenandalchemy.com.
Okay, great. That works for me. I'll tell you for sure. Heidi, thank you so much. Be well.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes, and everybody out there, be well, be happy, be healthy, save your money. Believe me, have a house fund for your house. You never know when things will happen. You may not have any water. I've been through that. Thanks so much, everybody. God bless. Be well. And thanks again, Heidi. We'll be back with you. Thank you so much.